I want to ask about the consultation then with our Alaska Native corporations. The within OMB, it states that Alaska Native corporations should be consulted with on the same basis as Indian tribes pursuant to executive order. We've got a draft policy out of the Department of Interior that provides that federal agencies are required to consult and coordinate with the tribes. Again, because the land resources are managed by our ANCs, I think it is important that our Native corporations be apprised of EPA decisions, the actions that could impact the Native corporation interests. So I would ask if you could tell the committee what, whether or not EPA has included the Alaska Native corporations within the consultations that you have conducted and kind of what the plans are.
With respect to the consultations that I've personally been involved in, they've been directly with the tribal governmental entities. I believe certainly that the agency has taken every step to fulfill its obligations under the executive order and beyond what's required by the executive order. I'd be happy to go back again and confer with my colleagues, ask across the agency and within the region if there have been some specific consultations that have involved the Alaska Native corporations.
Well, and again, I would just cite you to the Department of Interior and the draft policy on consultation that they have, okay, advanced. Again, when you have the resources, the land resources that are managed by the ANCs, I think it is important that through every step of the process, all those that are involved have an opportunity to weigh in as part of that consultation process. Another question for you, and then I have one quick one for Ms. Davidson. And this relates to the EPA's decision on the draft watershed assessment of Bristol Bay. I had asked the administrator for additional time to comment on that decision. She decided not to extend it beyond July the 23rd. It's a somewhat arbitrary deadline. It's not anybody's deadline other than within EPA. And as most who know Alaska know, this is the time of year, certainly within Bristol Bay, that everybody's out fishing.
Sure.
And so my concern was that there not be a full opportunity for Alaskans, and particularly those out in the affected region, to weigh in. I have heard from many Alaska tribes and tribal organizations that the amount of time given for public comment was inadequate. The administrator has ruled on this, but I would ask whether or not you can inform the committee what specific steps the EPA has taken in consultation with the tribes and the ANCs to ensure that they really did have adequate time to review a pretty substantive draft there before the public comment period closes on the 23rd.
Sure. Obviously, this is a very significant undertaking. The assessment has been one that the agency has taken very seriously. I think there are certainly been a number of consultations that have taken place. I personally have not been involved in those consultations, and I can appreciate that there has been a significant amount of consideration in the agency to ensure that there's ample time for the tribes to engage in the consultation process. I'd be happy to, again, confer with the lead on the Bristol Bay issues, work more closely with our region, and provide you with a more thorough answer after I confer with our colleagues.
Well, I would appreciate our response. Our dilemma here, though, is that July 23rd is just around the corner.
Just around the corner, absolutely.
And again, a lot of folks are still out fishing. And so what I'm interested in learning is whether or not there was truly that consultation with our tribes and some of the ANCs to ensure that they really did have adequate time. So if you could help me out on this, I'd appreciate that.
We'd be happy to help you out. And Senator, let me just again underscore the importance that the agency, EPA, places on the consultation with tribes. This is a fundamental tenet of the government-to-government relationship. It's a critical factor in our relationship with the tribes, and we take very seriously the implementation of that policy and every step that we can take to ensure full participation by the tribes is something that we will continue to aggressively pursue. So I will look forward to getting back to you and providing you an answer in a timely way. I realize that the time is just around the corner.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My time has expired.